What's up, you guys? This is Ace, and today I'm going to be releasing some Amplitube presets that I think sound pretty good, and I'm going to be going through why I made them sound the way they do, because I think they sound pretty cool. So let's go check them out. I don't usually use FL Studio to mix and produce a full song, but I do like its MIDI editing capabilities, which is why I use it. So for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to leave it in FL Studio so I don't have to go to Reaper, which is what I usually mix in. And the reason why is because I programmed some drums in Superior Drummer. So let's take a look at those really quick. So there's nothing super special going on, no compression, just straight up EQ, just to make it sound like it's supposed to fit in the context of the song. Here's the snare drum, there's the kick drum, here's the overhead, and here's the room. So nothing, I'm not doing any crazy magic there. And let's listen to the DIs. See what those sound like. So these are the DIs. Let's loop that really quick. There's the rhythm, bass, lead. So let's take a look at the rhythm first. So I got a little bit of stereo imaging going on right here. It's panned to the left. Let me mono that just for the sake of hearing the tone. So let's see why I made these decisions to make it sound the way it does. So the first thing we got is the graphic EQ, taking out all those lows because you don't want to distort too much of the low end when you have a high gain tone. That's one of the secrets, I think, to getting a good high gain tone. Cutting out some of that low end when you turn up the gain, because you don't want that nastiness. Get a compressor, keep the level solid, make your rhythm sound very tight and clean. I have an overdrive pedal that's really acting like a boost. The gain's like around 1. Everything's kind of subtracting, taking off a little more treble and just a boost. In the amp, no bass, pretty scooped mids, 3 treble, no presence. Taking off even more of that super high end with that presence there. The output master's at 8.1 and the lead master's at 10, so I got whatever virtual tube saturation that it can provide. With the cabinet, like I said, I have it panned to the left. This is just for the sake of the recording, but like I do have it in mono right now. It's panned to the left, and then the room is to the right. So let me put this back in stereo. Let's take out that right room mic. But then it's suddenly like, whoa, dude, where's the room? Where's the right channel? So let's add that back in. And I just used whatever match cabinet came with that amplifier, which is the what is this? The silver, the Brit silver, which it's a Marshall. I don't know what it's supposed to be modeling. So here at the very end, we got a 73 dip meaning down, a 6K bump meaning up, 12K dip, 124 dip, 1K dip, and 10K dip. So I'm subtracting a lot of stuff that I didn't like just to shape the tone. So let's get this other left guitar in there, and let's see this stereo. Yeah, it sounds pretty nice. I think it sounds pretty sick. Pretty good sustainy tone. So let's scoot it up a little bit and see this chuggy track. I think it sounds pretty tight. Let's add this bass in there. Yeah, it sounds pretty growly. So here in the bass section, let me just get the bass going. So I'm taking out some low end, using that kind of booster I did on the previous one, using a compressor and another compressor because bass needs to be very kind of solid. It's kind of very jumpy. It can get loud, quiet. And you might be like, why the hell are you taking out all the low end from this bass? It's a bass guitar. Well, I like shaping saturation and distortion by distorting different frequencies of the guitar or bass. So like I said before, I don't like when bass is distorted. So here I'm taking out a bunch of bass, but I'm adding it back in right there, and then I'm adding it back in the amp. And at the very end, I have a 76 hertz bump. So I like taking out low end and then adding it back in post because I just think it sounds cleaner. And then I have this a dual amp setup for this bass tone. There's a distorted amp that has some room mic on it. You can kind of hear that room going on in there. So what I got going with the second amp is it's an angle power ball, so it's more of a guitar amp. I have that shit distorted, and then I'm cutting out all the low end from it. So there's the distorted amp without the low end cut, and then there's it with the cut. So you get that clean low end from the first amp, and then you get the distortion from the second amp. Common technique. So let's throw that back in. That's sounding pretty tight. Let's get this lead tone here. So what I've got going for the lead tone, taking up more low end, peaking at like 1.5K, maybe a little bit too much. A little bit too much. I have the tone on this overdrive pedal pretty high, so I'm kind of really boosting the high end here. Distortion's not too high, it's more of like a boost, a treble booster kind of setup. I have the mids at around 3. Bass at 7, so I'm adding that bass back in because I think leads really need that bass bump. Taking out more treble, the presence is pretty low as well. Cabinet, didn't really mess with that at all. I thought it sounded great. Instead of some general EQ here, a 50 hertz dip, 1.3K boost, 500 hertz dip. And what I like to do with lead tones and just a lot of stuff in general is I like to create stereo imagery without getting too crazy with it. So here I have, I don't know what that was, but I have an analog chorus. Then I have a mono delay. Then I have a digital reverb that's not set very high, and then the delay isn't set that high either. So I'm just gonna run that track all the way through.